guys, today I am filming my best of beauty for 2022. So I'm going to be talking about all of the things I tried out for the first time this year that I absolutely fell in love with. And this was really hard. I have a lot of stuff to show you, but there were so many more products I did not include. I do seasonal favorites instead of monthly favorites, and I wanted to grab everything, but I couldn't. So I picked the things that were featured in favorites throughout the year that I still felt really excited about right now, thinking about them, looking at them. So that's how I made my decision here. It's so crazy because the things I mentioned in my winter favorites, that feels like eons ago. So first I have a skincare product, and that would be the Supergoop Glow Screen. Now I did do a whole video on samples that I would buy in the full size, and I talked about my favorite hair, skin, and body products that I tried this year, but I didn't really include SPFs because I put my sunscreens in my regular seasonal makeup project pans to make sure I was getting use out of them. And the Supergoop Glow Screen is so amazing. It does not make me too oily. It worked with every other primer and foundation. It worked with my other skincare products. I absolutely love it. That and the Everyday Humans Resting Beach Face SPF Serum are my absolute favorites. I'm using the Everyday Humans one right now. And I actually don't have any primers that stood out to me this year. I really do enjoy trying primers, but it's not a product that I feel blown away by. For foundation, I have three favorites. The first was the best skin tint that I tried. Now I do really like the one from Cali Ray and Rare Beauty, but I like this one even more, and it's more affordable. This is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. This is in the shade 0.52 Very Light. I would love for them to come up with more shades because this does have a good amount of pigment to it. The only negative here is that the actual dropper is terrible. I end up just like wiping the product on, although of course as I get more through this product, it's gonna be a lot harder. I'm about down to here right now, and I haven't been trying to pan it or anything, but I love this. If I had to cut my collection in half, if you told me I could only have one skin tint, I would pick this one because it does still give some nice coverage. And you guys know I'm a full coverage person, so at first when I was trying these skin tints, I could not get with it. And yes, this is a little bit hydrating for my oily skin, but I do make sure to just powder really well, and I am gonna need to touch up, and that's okay. But I do think this is a phenomenal product that I would really recommend for all skin types. It just looks so beautiful on the skin, and I would say gave like a light medium to medium buildable coverage. Next we have a foundation that's a little bit of a step up, and I was not expecting to like this, and I'm so thankful my friend Jean decluttered this to me. The Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin. I have the color 1 Neutral. Great shade match for me. This does have a natural finish, but it does have more of a medium coverage, medium buildable, and it truly looks beautiful on the skin. Now I did try a sample of the concealer this year. I did not like it at all, but I really like this foundation, and it wore decently well on me. Then my favorite L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation 100 True Alabaster is a pretty good shade for me. It's a little light, but the undertone is nice. And if you guys can tell, this is all used up. This had been in my collection for a while, but I hadn't really given it the proper love. But this year when I panned it, I wore it a ton and I loved it. So this is medium buildable coverage. It does have a matte finish. It is long wearing on me. So this is something I definitely want to repurchase. I need to use up some other foundations first, but if I could only have like 10 foundations, this would definitely be in that top 10. I know it's been out for forever. No one talks about it anymore, but this is so good if you're wanting that great medium coverage and more of a matte finish. Next for concealer, I only have one. Tarte Shape Tape is still my favorite, but I really love this formula as well this year. This is the KVD Good Apple Lightweight Full Coverage Concealer. I have Light 105, which is a great match for me. It is a fair neutral tone, and I think that the applicator is so cute on this. Gives some great coverage. I feel like it blends nicely, and I would say that this has more of a satin finish, which I enjoy because you can tell, I have oily skin, but I do have oily under eyes as well. This wears beautifully on me, gives great coverage, doesn't look too heavy under the eyes. I absolutely love this one. And I feel like I could justify having this one and the Tarte on hand and then using them interchangeably, but this is the closest favorite I've ever found to that Shape Tape. I don't have any new powders to mention, but I have a lot of cheek products. I actually have several cream bronzers that I really fell in love with. First would be from M Cosmetics. This is their So Soft Bronzer Stick in Summer. They come in 4 shades. They have Summer, which is the light warm tone, Terra, which is the light cool tone, and then they have a warm and a cool of deeper shades if you have a medium to deep skin tone. This is a great formula. It is more of a satin matte finish, but I do still find it to be very blendable. This is a great color for me that is warm, but it's not too orangey. You guys know I love my Persona Doom, but that one is a little bit more orange. So I think that this would be a great color option for me. Well, I've not tried Terra because I'm usually afraid of cool tones, but I'm tempted because I love that formula and a lot of people love that shade. Then a product that I didn't expect to love as much as I do would be the Merit Bronze Balm. And this is a sheer glowy finish bronzer stick. So because luckily I got to see other people test and review this before myself, I did not pick the lightest color Quince. I chose the second lightest shade, Clay. And this is, again, a great warm undertone for me. I feel like Quince would have ended up going a little bit yellow green like some bronzers can on me, and I don't find that to be flattering. So I would say with the Merit, maybe just go a shade deeper than you'd think. That way you are getting the pigment that you want, but this blends so easily, and I have such a hard time applying bronzer up on my forehead, which I want to do because my forehead is so large, but it always tends to look very unnatural. With the formula and color, this just looks beautiful. So absolutely love and recommend that. There's no shimmer in it. It just has a natural glow. Next, for a great natural cream bronzer, that would be the Make It by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. I again went 1 shade up because I heard this was a little bit more on the sheer side. So instead of getting light, I got light medium. I'm so glad that I did. This is a great neutral leaning warm undertone. This is a really creamy formula. I don't have any issue with this going all over the place, but again, I do set my skin with powder. This blends into the skin so easily, gives a beautiful look to the skin. This does not come with a ton of product though. I have already seen a lot of people hit pan, but I really enjoy this and I think this is a great formula and a great shade for me. And my last cream bronzer is a cream powder duo. I did not expect to love this one because I thought it was going to be a little bit too cool tone for me, and that is the Patrick Ta Cream Contour Powder Bronzer Duo. I chose the medium shade She's Sculpted because the lighter color was just too cool tone for me. So you have the more cool tone cream and then the warm tone powder. I do set my skin with powder in between these 2 steps, but I think the colors work together to balance each other out. And both of these have such a good formula. The bronzer is not too pigmented, which for me works because I am layering here. Great formula, not too heavy or pigmented, still blends out really well. Very nice formula here, and this is one of the only cool tone colors I felt comfortable using and doesn't make me look dead. And then getting into powder bronzer, again, there were so many this year that I loved, and this is another neutral cool option that really worked for me. I'm wearing this today. This is the M Cosmetics Corselet Sculpting Powder Bronzer in Slip. It comes in 4 shades. This is the lightest one, and again, this is neutral leaning cool. It is so beautiful, looks so natural, and for me is going to be my go-to bronzer for the winter time when I'm using more cool tone cheek products. But again, I do not like things that look too gray on me, and this is just perfect in a really wonderful formula. It has enough pigment to it, blends nicely, but it's not too intense where I have to be too careful when applying it. And there were so many bronzers I love this year. I want to give an honorable mention to the ones from Sigma, definitely the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear bronzers. Those are really nice, but again, I wanted to try to pick some toppity tops. And this is the Huda Glowish bronzer. This one is in the lightest shade Light, and I knew that this formula, you kind of had to work into it. It's not very powdery, but I like that because, again, this looked so natural on my forehead, which is important to me and is really hard to find. I can very quickly have a bronzer helmet. This looked beautiful all over, but it really looked nice and natural on my forehead. So when I'm wanting more of a light bronzer look, this is a really easy one to work with. And then I also love this. Let's give a shout out to Miss Jaclyn Hill, Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is the Pressed Bronzer and Vitamin D. This is a really nice neutral to warm shade. Smells like vanilla coffee. Not my favorite, but I don't mind it. Pigmented, blends nicely. The shade range does go pretty deep. Some of the lighter colors, I feel like the undertones are a little odd, but this is a really good one. So absolutely wanted to recommend that. Then for blush, I have a lot of favorites. I have one liquid and one cream. This is very random, but this is the Laura Geller Serum Blush Cheek Tint, and this is in the shade Poppy Peach. I got this in PR from Laura Geller. It's incredible. First off, I love this color. It's a nice pinky peach. This formula applied so easily over my foundation, blended nicely, and gave me that gorgeous flush. I was still able to see the color after I lightly set my skin with powder. And this was a very easy product to apply, where other blushes like Rare Beauty, you have to be a little bit more careful, not quite as user-friendly, but this was great. Although I feel like they must be sold out because I haven't seen them on their website in a little while. They come in 2 shades, but this is really, really good. Excuse me, I'm just noticing now that it says the shelf life is 3 months. I will certainly be keeping that much longer than 3 months. Then the cream blush I really like is M Cosmetics, and this is, again, the So Soft blush formula. And this is the color Lychee. So again, more of a pinky peach shade. This is a great creamy satin formula, so it does look nice and matte on the cheeks without being dry. It's not like a thick cakey formula. Blends easily, beautiful shade. And I would say that this doesn't go over powder the easiest compared to some other formulas, but I don't find it to be too hard to work with or patchy. Then I have a bunch of powder blushes I loved. This one took me by surprise. It's a little mini NARS Orgasm X. I'm not really into the original color, but this one, if you can see here, is much brighter, more corally, and it's like a hot watermelon shade. It's a little bit warmer, does have that golden shimmer. This is very wabam on the cheeks. I love it for summer. It is absolutely stunning. So much more fun than the regular shade. Then I have 2 from Persona. I have all 4 of the Persona powder blushes. I hope they will release some more this year because this formula is incredible. They are a really nice matte finish. The first one would be Caramel, a nice little dusty mauve moment here. And then of course, the very popular Bubble shade. Y'all don't need the Dior Rosy Glow blush. Go get this one from Persona. It is available on Ulta as well as their website. It's really beautiful. I was really surprised how much I like this color pink on me, but this is so nice. I'm so glad Persona was able to make that and blow up because they deserve it. And definitely let's support Persona instead of Dior. Next is kind of random, and at first I was mad at myself for having this because I like Pat McGrath. I think her products are good but overpriced, but I've worn this a couple times and I was absolutely in love, so I had to mention this blush in Nude Venus. Something about this color, it is like a nudie peach blush. I don't know what it is about this that makes it so much more special. It's not the formula, it's the color. Formula's fine, but nothing special, but this color is so good. Then I tried a bunch of the new blushes from Benefit, and I really liked all of them, but these 2 shades I liked the most. We have Pom Pom, which is a matte finish, and Terra, which has a little bit of shimmer. So these are like fun neutral blushes. These will work really well for a medium to tan skin tone, but I think they work nicely on my fair skin with a light hand. Similarly, I have the Bare Minerals bronzers in Kiss of Copper and Kiss of Rose. I also have the lightest color, Kiss of Pink, and I like that one, but I like these a little bit more. They do look metallic in the pan and they do give a glow to your cheeks, but they don't look glittery at all. And I love that these have that gorgeous burnt quality. And then lastly, I have the individual Sigma blushes, and I think that the bronzers and highlighters are great as well, but I really loved these. They came out with 6 singles. I actually already have the other 4 in either Cheek Duos or the Corday Rosa palette. And this one that has shimmer is Tiger Lily. This one is also sold in their original blush palette that I don't have. And then this matte color is Sunset Kiss, which I believe is a brand new shade. Absolutely stunning, gorgeous, pigmented, blend nicely. I love these colors on my skin tone. Next, we have some highlighters and another Jaclyn Cosmetics product. This is her pressed highlighter in Ice. This is a really pretty icy peach shade. The formula is great. I also really like the color Sparks. It looks a little bit more yellow in the pan, but on my warm skin tone, I think it blended nicely. Such a good formula. Metallic without being glittery or chunky. And this is something I just tested this month, but I love this color. And I feel like if I had to pare down my Ofra highlight collection to only 3, this would make the cut. And this is the Hills. It's supposed to be a lighter version of Rodeo Drive, which is a gold tone highlight that has always been too dark for me. This is perfect. Ofra makes my favorite highlight formula. Then I have a couple face palettes. This is the Sigma Glisten and Glow Holiday Cheek Duo from 2022. And I actually had mentioned last year's holiday palette in last year's Best of Beauty as well, because I think the colors are amazing. So this blush is Sweater Weather and the highlight is Frosty Glow. Yes, and you would think these would be too dark for me, but again, going in with a light hand, I think they look beautiful. I feel like for some reason, even the Sigma highlight formula is better in the duos than it is in the singles. Like it's a little softer to the touch, a little creamier. I'm not sure, but I love this. And it is on sale now, but definitely keep an eye out because this is limited edition, so it will get cheaper and cheaper, but this is a must-have for me. And then one more Jaclyn Cosmetics product that I loved. This would be a limited edition product from last holiday, the Winter Sun Face Palette. I love the Snow Bunny blush and these 2 highlights. I would love for her to do some individual blushes because this formula is so incredible. So I hope to see more from her, but I use this so much. Amazing formula and shades. So I got hot and had to take my sweater off. Now we're into eye favorites, and actually in the last couple months there were a lot of singles I tried that I absolutely love. Singles that are in compacts, and a lot of them even being in December, but I do think there's some of the more special things I've tried this year, and it could be because I just recently tested them, so I'm most excited about them, but I'm gonna share them nonetheless. So the first is actually a sample shadow from Natasha Denona. This is from the My Dream palette. It is in the shade Thrill. This is a gorgeous champagne peach shade that almost made my eyes look wet without actually being a creamy type of dewy shadow. It looked beautiful, and I hope this is still available when the Sephora spring sale comes around because I am gonna buy this palette. I think Natasha Denona has a wonderful formula, and this color alone just sold me on a palette that I had previously tried to talk myself out of. Next, surprisingly, I actually really like these M Cosmetics Cosmic Pearl Dewy Shadows. I know several people said that they didn't wear nicely on them or creased on them. I think they creased on me a little bit, but I really kind of had to look for it, and that's fine. So the 2 shades I have would be Wish, which is a little bit more rose gold, and then Star Child, which is a little more cranberry. These are so reflective, and the looks I created with these, I loved those looks so much. These are very pricey. At some point this year, these were listed as like fan favorites, and they were like 40 or 50% off. If they did a sale like that again, I'd probably buy some more, but keep in mind they are pricey. Hold out for a sale. M Cosmetics does do a sale a couple times a year. Next is another Jaclyn Cosmetics product. This one was limited edition from last holiday, but I hope she will re-release these. This is her shimmer top coat. I have all of the colors. This one is North Star, which is a really pretty like bronzy type of shade. These do have some base pigment to them, but they have a lot of glitter. They look really pretty on the eye, not a ton of fallout, easy to work with. I would recommend a cream base underneath just to help the pigment stick, but this is a really beautiful shadow. And then I used a few shades of the Hourglass Scatter Lights eyeshadows and absolutely fell in love with these. And the first one would be Blaze, which is the more orangey copper one. And then we have Rapture, which is the cranberry, but you guys can see this one is a little bit warmer as well. And these have a little bit more base pigment than the Jacqueline, but not as much base pigment as the Tarte Chrome Paint Shadow Pots. But the Tarte ones have a little bit more of a metallic look, and these have a little bit more dimension to them with that glittery aspect. And before, I didn't love these as much comparing to the Tarte because those have been my favorite, but when I use these again, I was like, I really like those. Next is another limited edition formula. I hope MAC makes more of these. I haven't been this impressed by a MAC release in a while. And that would be from last holiday 2021. The Shade Shifter Duochrome eyeshadows, they came out with 5. I have 4 of the 5. I found them all at a CCO, and actually my local CCO still has a few shades, so definitely run to your store and check them out. I am still contemplating getting the 5th one. And this first color is called Right Before Your Eyes. So this one has like a little bit of like champagne, peach, green. Calling Your Bluff is a pinky purple. Ho Ho Hocus is a green. And Perplexing is a blue. And these do have some nice base pigment to them, but they do have a bit of fallout because they are a little bit more glittery. So I would recommend doing your eyes first, or doing what I do, which is just holding a tissue under my eye to catch the fallout. And when you apply basically all of these shadows with your finger, you're going to get the most intensity. But I was so impressed with this formula. If you're looking for it at a CCO, it has the red packaging and like the peppermint swirl type of logo. Next, I have some mini palettes I love. You guys are not going to be surprised if you ever see my makeup of the days on Instagram. This is the Aether Beauty Citrine Crystal Quad. Now, I do think the 3 shimmers in here are very beautiful. I'm impressed with this formula, but I have been loving this matte. I have been using this as an outer corner shade whenever I use Anastasia, Birkin, and Bengal for transition and crease, and then going with like a warm shade on the lid. Amazing formula, pigmented, blends nicely. I would love to see more from Aether Beauty. All their products are on sale at Sephora right now and sold out, and they're all really discounted on their website. So I don't necessarily know what that means. I'm hoping that they're revamping, although I feel like this is a revamp because I know the packaging is a little bit different than it was previously. So I don't know, but I am very impressed with the quality of these. Then I've got 3 mini palettes from Natasha Denona that I loved. I think these all have fantastic quality, and I seem to get more use out of the minis than even some of the larger palettes. So this is Mini Bronze. I do wish it had one more shimmer and then maybe got rid of this color here, but basically I will do lid, transition, crease, outer corner, and lower lash line. Then we have the Mini Biba. This is a creamy matte shade, which I don't like that formula, but with the color of this, it does work well in the outer corner for me. But I would love for this color, because I think it's beautiful, to just be a regular matte. So again, we just have one shimmer, which is unfortunate. I wish one of these would have been an additional shimmer, but this is stunning. This color, this formula, it again looks kind of wet on the eye. So I end up doing transition, crease, outer corner, lower lash line. And you guys know these type of shades are so me. And then the ratio I like to see in a mini palette from Natasha Denona would be 3 shimmers and 2 matte. So I just rotate out the different shimmers, and then I will do transition, crease, outer corner here. And this one includes Bronzage, which is one of my favorite Natasha Denona shades. I think that this is the most gorgeous coppery bronze. Then I have these must-have drugstore palettes. These are from Flower Beauty. The neutral one is Desert Lights, and then the more colorful one is Jungle Lights. These are so good. I didn't really use the darker shade that much, but all of these really perfect everyday shades for me. But because that metallic sheen, they're punchier, they're more fun, but it's still definitely work appropriate for me. And then Jungle Lights, I can get away with these as well. You guys know I love these type of colors here. This one's a little dark for me, but this taupey purple color, insane. This is some of the best shimmer shadow formula I've tried, period. And then I know there are other larger palettes that I loved, but thinking about them right now, these are my top two. I just feel more excited about these smaller palettes and these singles at this current moment. So one of the large palettes I loved would be Huda Beauty Rose Quartz. The colors in here are so beautiful. I like more cool tone shades that are on the purpley or rosy side, so I was scared this might be too cool tone, too gray, but it's not. This and this is like the only more gray colors in the palette. These three here, insane. The shades in here, like, oh, stunning, so pretty, and I love the looks that I created with this one. If you're ever wanting to come up with different looks for the palette, but you're needing inspiration, Patty Alonso, she always does like 4 or 5 looks for each palette that comes out. I know she's done them with, I think, all the Huda palettes, and that's where I got a lot of my inspiration. And then my other large palette is the Sigma Corday Rosa. I think Sigma has a wonderful palette formula, and these shades are so pretty. I love this color right here. I felt it was very unique, but also this one. But you can see with those two shades in particular, this one too, you can just see how insane the metallic sheen is, and the mattes are so beautiful, pigmented, blendable, such great quality, and these colors are very me. Then a few more eye favorites. I loved the Nabla Cupid's Arrow full color stylos, and I have the colors number 5 and 7. My friend Amanda decluttered these to me. I think she got them in a trend mood box. These are incredible. They are a little bit of a chunkier pencil, but I put mine on my waterline and lower lash line, and it's perfect. Number 5 is a really cool, like, mustardy brown. It's leaning more brown than mustard, but it's so unique to me. And then we have the color number 7, which is more of a burgundy brown. So pretty. These are great creamy matte liners. They're super long wearing. They don't come all the way down my face. I recently just purchased a few more in some pastel shades, so I'm excited to try those out. For some reason on the Ulta website, they have 2 different listings, one that just has a couple colors and then one that has more bright shades. Babs Beauty has always raved about this in the black color, but these are so good. Amazing formula, and I really love these shades. They're great neutral liners, but not just a basic brown. Then I did have 2 mascaras I loved. This is a new mini, so I'm not going to open it. I'll put a picture on the screen. It's the Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes Universal Volumizing Mascara. This did give some wonderful volume without being clumpy. It's a mascara I definitely want to buy in the full size in the future, but I have a lot of mascaras to get through. I think last year it was featured in some sort of like lash day sale at Sephora and was half off, so we'll see if they do that again. Then I also tried this sample of the Lancome Idole Lash. It's incredible. This is a wet formula. It is a plastic wand, and this just gives some really great length and separation, but I do feel like it does give some thickness at the base. I really like pairing this with the Hypnose Drama Mascara from Lancome, which is one of my favorites for volumizing. But this is so good. I tried a lot of different mascaras this year, and these are the only ones that I would consider buying in the full size. Now I have lips, and I actually have more here than in other times. Some of these are new formulas I tried that I thought were amazing, and I like the colors as well. And some are just new shades of formulas that I've tried previously and loved. So I lost my mind at the Sephora spring sale, and there were some things that I kind of regret buying, some things I didn't need. But luckily for me, these were great choices. And these are the I Need a Rose lip products from Natasha Denona. She had 3 different shades. This was the medium shade in Daphne. It came in a lip liner, gloss, and lipstick. I did not get the lipstick because I've tried her formula before and I didn't love it. I also heard from Samantha March that the formula in this collection was different and wasn't as good, but I don't know. This gloss is amazing. First off, I love this color. It is neutral, but it has a little bit of that like slight coral to it, and this is a great medium coverage gloss, not sticky, a super smooth formula. I did end up later picking up Peony from this collection, And I don't go too crazy with her glosses because they are still expensive, but this is a great everyday neutral shade that has a little bit of color. And then I also loved this lip liner formula. The color is the same. This is a nice, like almost gel lip liner formula. It's not sticky, but it's not quite as creamy as the ColourPop, which is my favorite, but I still really enjoy this one. I don't know that I can justify the price of any more of these, but maybe these. So I will keep an eye out, but I love this combo and the formulas were really good. Some other new formulas I love, the Milani matte lipsticks. They have this nude collection and then a brights collection. This is the shade Pleasure. It is just a light peachy nude, but there's a little bit of pink in there. I have not really found very many bullet lipsticks that I enjoy. This and the Buxom Full Force I think are my favorite formulas. The Buxom is more of a cream finish. This is a comfort matte, but it's not too thick and heavy on the lips like I think the Maybelline ones are. And just comes in a lot of beautiful shades, but this is one of the ones that work the best for me. And then the color Secret is supposed to be a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. Another formula I love would be the ColourPop Glowing Lip. This does have more of a light medium opacity. It is different than a tinted balm because it's not as slippery and it has a little bit more pigment, but this is super comfortable, has some shine to it. One of the best ColourPop lip products I've tried, and this is the nude color Indulge Me, which I think is on sale on the Ulta website right now for $2. It is the only color they still have available, but this is so good. Another new formula to me would be the Buxom Full On Plumping Lip Matte. This did come out in 2022. This is the color Chill Night, which is a really great nude color that's a little bit more of like a neutral undertone. But this is a really comfortable, it is a cooling matte formula. It's not super drying. It's not transfer proof, but it's transfer resistant. It's almost like a gel formula. It's really interesting, but really comfortable and cool. They have a lot of really pretty shades. I would love to see them expand. And they did just release a little duo set that has Dolly, which I have purchased in the full size, but haven't tried, and Chili. So if you're interested in trying the formula, definitely recommend the duo. Speaking of Buxom, I also loved their Plump Shot Collagen Infused Lip Serum. I tried the original clear shade. I just had a little sample of it. And then with my Ulta points, I did get one of the shimmery ones. And I did see that they're this year going to be coming out with some like sheer tinted ones. This is an incredible lip plumper. You will feel a burning sensation on your lips, but I got used to it. And this does have a serum consistency, so it's very smooth. And for some reason, I feel like that takes the edge off of the sting. The stinginess is similar to the Grande Cosmetics Hydrating Lip Plumper, but the formula of this is just a little less sticky. If you're looking for a lip plumper and you want it to do something but not be as like intense as the Too Faced, I recommend this. And then some new shades I tried of formulas I already love. First from Tower 28, their Milky Lip Jellies. This is Pistachio and this is Chestnut, which was limited edition from a Holiday 2021 duo set. So these have a light medium to medium opacity and no stickiness, which means they are not the most long lasting, but I'm fine with that. Then I've got some Buxom glosses. You guys know I cannot resist the limited edition collections. This was an ice cream collection in Strawberry White Sangria. This is a very pretty lighter pink, but it's not too cool tone. There's a little bit of warmth in there, so it does not wash my lips out. This was so beautiful. Then I have two from their fall collection. This is a lip polish and Cami Caramel. I don't usually like the polishes because I find them to not have much color. This one had more than the cream. This is like a very strong medium coverage, and look at this color. A perfect peachy nude, a little bit of pink in there. Makes your lips look very luscious. And then we have Peppermint Hot Cocoa, which is a similar shade, but it is the lip cream formula. So good. If you can still get these, highly recommend them. So guys, those are all of the products that I tried this year that I absolutely fell head over heels in love with. Again, if you want to see more favorites from me, I will have my different seasonal favorites linked for you. It was hard to cut out some of those products, but like I said, these are the things that I tried this year that I still feel super excited about now and want to share with you. So I would love to hear your thoughts if you've tried these products, and I would love to know your favorites from the year in a comment down below, whether they were new favorites or just things that you've continued loving or rediscovered. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.